Hey guys, Fox Protocol Mining here, coming at you from the Fox Den. So, just wanted to touch base on this just really quick. There's a lot of miners that ask this question about should I use Ethernet or should I use Wi-Fi? And really, the answer to this isn't as complicated as you would think, just for the simple fact that it really just depends. First, where are you putting your equipment? Is it decently close to your router? If so, then either way, it doesn't really matter. I mean, if you can plug in a connector for the Wi-Fi or run an Ethernet cable a short distance to your rig, then I mean that's completely up to you. Now, if you're moving 50 to 100 feet away from your router, now you have two potential problems. One is running the Ethernet cable. Do you live alone with nobody in your house? Can you just run it across your carpet and hope that you don't trip over it? Or are you gonna, do you have a wife like I do? And you have to drill holes and make it look pretty, and you end up needing 50 to 100 feet more cable than you actually need because you have to run it, so you have to take that into account. And vice versa, you also need to look at the fact is your Wi-Fi signal still good at that distance? So, those are just questions to ask for your particular scenario. Uh, Realistically, though, I mean, the deal breaker for me is, do you have a specific place in mind where you're going to put your rigs? If the answer to that is yes, and you have a room, you have a space, an area dedicated to where you're going to build a mining operation, where you're going to put a couple different rigs in, then I would just go ahead and run an Ethernet cable. In my personal opinion, I would just go ahead and run the cable and build it so I could put my rigs there and put a switch in. That way I've got a 100% reliable connection out there and I don't have to worry about it. Now, maybe you have a handful of rigs and maybe you move them around a lot. I don't know, like maybe you're not always in the same location. Maybe seasonally you need to move your rigs from one room to another. If that's the case, then Wi-Fi would probably be more beneficial to you, because having to constantly move an Ethernet cable from room to room is going to be a pain. So yeah, it just boils down to situational, because when it comes to speed, I mean, sure, Ethernet's faster. I mean, Wi-Fi's made some leaps and bounds, and it can be pretty comparable to what you get for Ethernet, but mining isn't, it's not a sprinting race with bandwidth. It's pretty consistent, it's pretty steady, and it's not very demanding. So on that front, it really doesn't matter. The only and the latency drawbacks for Wi-Fi are pretty minimal when you consider the fact that your bandwidth isn't really that high. So yeah, I hope this sheds a little bit of light on the topic for you guys. I mean, I can't give you a clear-cut answer as to which is better, just because there isn't one. It really just depends on your particular application, where you're going to put something. I mean, if you want my opinion specifically on where you're putting your rigs or how you're setting something up, please hit me up in the comments or get on Discord with me and shoot me a direct message, and I'm happy to share my experiences with you guys and help you guys work through your own personal projects. But that's pretty much it on discussion with this. I hope it's a little bit more enlightening with you guys, and maybe it gave you a direction that you didn't have before. And that's it, guys. So that's Foxden here, signing off.